Imagine trusting someone less when they are kind to you, misinterpreting neutral situations and facial expressions as hostile and negative, finding comfort in chaos, seeking ups and downs when all is calm around you and in your relationships, and seeing relationships as battles and not partnerships, and sabotaging your relationships without being aware that this pattern of behavior is maladaptive and or adaptive, either or. Here at HPA use them both interchangeably, but they do mean different things. We'll get into that, due to childhood trauma and the fear of abandonment and rejection. So now imagine, though, knowing that trauma and a distorted lens, maladaptive child pattern behaviors and or adaptive child pattern behaviors, they sabotage, right? So lenses and behaviors that sabotage your life and relationships are healable. That is actively why those lovely good therapists, they are sharing with people this evil thing, this demonizing. There's not a group of people that aren't helpable. We can support each other, and the good therapists, they work with people like me, the in-betweens, in the mystic spiritual community, the holistic community. So sciences and spirituality, they come together at IHP again with spiritual self-help and mindfulness, mindset, and mindset practices. Also content creator. So professionals and content creators alike of the 5D collective, we love to share with you all that we are all children from the same cloth, and actively God and Jesus taught me about love and respect and acceptance of differences. I did not get told about the fear-mongering, vengeful God that I noticed is of all people who have a shame cycle. So they have unresolved and unhealed trust breaks, childhood trauma. They're the ones that are continuing to bring black and white and all or nothing thinking into the picture. Whenever I see anyone, for example, recently there was this person who was using a title on how meditators want this neuroscientist out because she's ruining it for them. And basically it was just a therapist who's a neuroscientist explaining how out of 10 people who go meditate, one might not have a good relationship with it. And I know why. I'm attachment trauma informed. So the human being seems to like to make these extreme conversations. Like he talked about, this is the interviewer, that he talks about the enlightenment trap. So people of in and out groups, you'll notice who they are, because the ones who know enlightenment is accessible, they are neuroscientists. They talked about the flow state. I can share with you what it's like. Okay, so sciences and spirituality, for example, teach me, and I then share with you about expansion of consciousness and intelligence, and how they go hand in hand with being love, which is, by the way, pure consciousness, purusha, unconditional love, prakriti, pure energy, your whole 3-year-old heart. That's you without any trauma charges or unresolved trauma lingering, so you don't have no shame button here, a self button, yeah, and an ego brain here, and they work together, integration of the brain. It's your inner and outer well-being. So that's why no compassion, no expansion or intelligence, because your body is actively not in the prefrontal cortex. So when you're in a state of physiological compassion, this has been explained to me, our human being bodies, they are in the social engagement system, the ventral vagal nervous system, which yoga, by the way, is a portfolio of exercises. So here's why it doesn't bring demons out of you. If people know Peter Levine and how he shares trauma charges are stored in your muscles, bones, and tissues, and we all have charges, the very basic. So they come up. Once one moves, the others move, and they want to come because your body is healing itself. So your body seeks to return home to its true origin. That's something sacred that was lost, like that song, Billy Joel. It's your 1-year-old wants to be securely attached inside your body. And your brain consistently heals trauma as well. That's why, like Patrick McNamara, neuroscientist, shares, no demon possessing people that have nightmare after nightmare, that the shamanic traditions and religious traditions, they've told you about demons. I'm a mystic. I, in fact, have known for quite some time in the 5D plane, no human beings, an energy vampire, or demon, or any of that. The Lucifer and blaming Lucifer and calling people Lucifer because they're doing things differently than the medieval time scriptures. Okay, so a 5D mystic will actively be like, okay, there's no demons coming out of Earth. We know about space science and or geology science. You know, we know about sciences. We don't need to use Greek mythology consistently. We actively have a different way, new stories. Okay, so my mystic enlightenment experiences, I bring them to you as well, and they show me how love, life, and our relationships, they're continuing to keep our lovely human evolution and expansion of consciousness in the world moving forward. So right now we are in the midst of change, and sciences and spirituality is coming completely together. They, with a linear, share how being ordinary, being yourself, is when you own the solo self of you, the sense of self of you, the narrative, relational, and core. So no shame button, no unhealed trauma, which is why here at IHP we heal trauma one person at a time, one relationship at a time, because love, it is supporting each other to fly. Love lifts each other up when we're down, and it soars the skies when we're high. And love is always there. We don't bring our humbug. So true lovers, they actively say they love you and they stick around. They actively, consistently communicate with you. So building relationships, they don't have to be where you're physically doing anything. And actively, the physical part is not very interesting if you have a person who is not with healthy self-worth. So if you don't know how to self-regulate your 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, your child parts, so you don't know how to be a pacha that shakes a hand and says, I make a promise and I mean it, okay? So pacha wears no mask. Being yourself, there's no mask when you're an authentic person. And that's our luminous warriors here at IHP. So we're all not the warrior of any physical, no separation, no suffering is necessary. The ones who do think it's so, they went through a different route, so they have had the temporal junction, and they know rumination and suffering from the limbic system with the alert, 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 and they have not put into practice more mindfulness, more mindsight, more meditation, and mindset. Now, here's the thing, though. You can do all of this only once you have contained, so you can contain that which your body has stored. So as Peter Levine says, that's that first step, like Bezel van der Kolk as well. He also shares with us how important it is, and the body keeps a score, the mind keeps a count is how I like to share it. But we also have Lisa Feldman Barrett. She likes to say that the body is the scorecard and the brain keeps the score, and that the brain is running a model of its body. In all ways, shapes, or forms, when you're ready to work with mind, the thoughts, voice, and your body, the feelings that come up, so left and right, they work together, then you're ready to be a functional adult and to be here where we get to have secure attachment relationships with mystics and not mystics, and then we get to heal trauma one person at a time. For those who are in the step of, I forgave my home, my attachment system, I like to talk about how we can make the world a better place for all. And we don't need human suffering, but human suffering, love, people are out there. And they actively follow the 7 to 14 charming, who use the in and out group, and they use extreme all or nothing. And then they do things like this. Why meditators don't want this neuroscientist to be heard. The extreme, or lack of imagination for evil. Wow, okay. Or enlightenment trap. Or you cannot be enlightenment all the time. So when they don't know how to wield their own, again, emotional, mental, physical body, they find life. Awareness is when maximum uncertainty is at place, and since every day is uncertain, they don't have a good time dealing with uncertainties, unexpected and unwanted, from within their heart as an open heart while going with the flow. Here at IHP, that's the basic main modules of the inner growth mindset. So we know all about how to have fun while we could be afraid, angry, happy, surprised, disgusted, and what else? Sad. But we don't make it into drama king queen world because we're mindfully aware of it. And then we're self-regulating and we're accountable and we're not projecting it. And we're having grown-up conversations with people who lift us up, so they don't bring their humbug. So just because they had a bad day, they don't say, no, you know what? I had a bad day. So keep it to yourself. I'm at 80 today. I'm at 20. Okay, go to Terry Real. See you later, alligator. Once you learn how to love yourself first and your 1-year-old, I'll see you. Because that was completely unnecessary. So dysregulation is basically when a person is emotionally unavailable. You'll know it. In the meantime, thank you for stopping by. If you don't like to do self-help with a spiritual lady here and secular, you don't have to believe. But if you do enjoy to do mindfulness, mindset, inner growth, then come and join us. We're going to have some more stories today. Meantime, I love my cards. The cards that came out, they have a really nice message for you all. So we're going to do some channeled guidance messages in a little bit. Again, thank you for stopping by. See you soon.